So I'd like to welcome everybody today to our online information session for our Masters in Science and Communication Management and Media. I'm Michael Petrie. I'm the Director of Graduate Admissions here at the College of New Rochelle. I have Dr. Terry Gamble with me, who is the Program Director for Communication and Management and Media program. Just to kind of give you an idea of the format for tonight. We have some slides we'll be going through to go over the program. There'll be some slides for admissions information, and at the end of the session, we'll have some questions and answers. So when we get to the end, any questions that you have, feel free to chat and type in the questions, and we'll do our best to answer the questions as best we can. So without too much further ado, I'd like to introduce Terry Gamble, and she'll be going over the Masters in Science and Communication and Management Media.
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet everybody. I'd just like to welcome you to the session and to the program. Currently, we're offering concentrations in leadership consulting and entrepreneurship, which is offered completely online and or on campus, and also strategic communication management. We also have an advanced certificate program in communication studies for those of you who already have a master's degree or would like to take advanced work in the field to secure opportunities for promotion. The really good news, and a program which is starting in January, is the totally online Masters in Communication Management and Media. And this program, as with the live program, can be completed within 2 years. That should be really good news for busy people, and I'm sure you're all busy. In this program, students concentrate in our leadership communication consulting and entrepreneurship concentration. And this lets you build key skills that are important if you're working in either the profit or the nonprofit sector. It also gives you the chance to be in charge of your professional future and to manage your own career. The Communication Management and Media program is 36 credits. You need to apply to the graduate school. We have Internship Opportunities. Internship is not a requirement of the program because we know that so many of our students are working, but there are viable internship opportunities. And the program leads to diverse career paths. Some of our students end up serving as communication consultants or develop their own business as a consultant. They go into fields like customer relations management, fundraising and development. They become speech writers for organizations, community relations managers, communication coaches, which is really fun. They enter media relations and affairs, and they also serve in the social marketing sector. The advanced certificate is 18 credits, and this really lets you chart your own path. You'll choose your coursework in consultation with your advisor, and I think you'll find the courses challenging, involving, and enriching.
So to kind of switch over now to the application process for any of the programs we just discussed. The important thing is that we have the application online, and the good news is that if you apply online, the application fee is waived. The best way to apply is online. As I mentioned, the application fee is waived, and it's just sort of a smoother, cleaner process. It also allows you to attach different documentation to that application. In terms of requirements, some of the things that we need obviously would be your official college transcripts. We'd need those from any college or university that you've earned credit from. That seems to be the most time-consuming part of the application process. So I always encourage people to kind of work on that ahead of time. In certain instances, you can send us unofficial transcripts, which we can use while the officials are on the way, but we do need the official transcripts eventually. We do require 2 letters of recommendation. They need to be of a professional or academic nature. So depending on what point in time you graduated from school, so if you've graduated recently, it may be fairly easy for you to get a letter from a professor. If you've been in the workforce for a while, if you have a supervisor or a colleague you've worked with for a long time, letters of recommendation from them would be helpful. We do require a personal goal statement. There is a little bit of flexibility with that. So we're saying 1 to 3 pages, but really a minimum of 3 to 5 paragraphs is ideal, depending on your academic record and what information you need to convey to us in terms of your application. You can use that as an opportunity to kind of, explain precisely why you're seeking this particular degree. If there's something in your academic record that you want to give a little more explanation to, it's also your opportunity to explain that in a little bit more detail. But the gist of the personal statement is to give the admissions committee a better sense of why you're seeking the degree and why you feel you'd be a good candidate for this program. Finally, we do require a resume. It gives us a fuller picture of who you are as a candidate. So if we see you've graduated, say 5 or 10 years ago, but you've been working within a communications type field, that's helpful to us. It doesn't mean that you have to have been working in a communications field, but it gives us sort of a better sense of who you are as a candidate. And I think for those students who have just graduated college, you may not have a really fully fleshed out resume, so don't worry about it too much, but we do require the resume. Some of the frequently asked questions we get from the admissions process is, when is your application deadline? The good news is that we have something called rolling admissions, so there's no set deadline to apply. Our upcoming spring semester starts on January 16th, so there is still time to apply for this upcoming semester. And we accept applications for both the spring, summer, and fall semester. So that's the second question there. So we are accepting applications for this upcoming spring. There's still time for you to do that. But as I mentioned, we do accept applications spring, summer, and fall. Common question is, when do classes meet? Classes meet either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. There aren't any Friday classes. We do have a handful of Saturday and Sunday classes. The 2 major time slots are classes typically meet either 4:15 to 6:45 or 7 to 9:30. For the communications program, however, classes are only offered between 7 and 9:30. And then we do have some Saturdays, and the way that's broken up is that there are 5 full Saturdays. So it's a nice way to kind of get the 3 credit class in a relatively short amount of time. And then I'm going to sort of kick this question to Dr. Gamble, but one of the questions we commonly get is, can I get my master's degree online? And as she mentioned, she had some good news, so I'll let her kind of fill you in on that.
Absolutely. The really good news is that the way we're doing this is that if you're going to be in the online program, you can complete your degree in 2 years, and you do it taking only 1 course at a time, so that you can give your full attention to the 1 course that you're studying. And these courses are going to be held in 5 to 6 weeks. You complete a course, and then you can take that way 2 or potentially in the future 3 courses in a session. Right now we're offering 2 courses in the spring, 2 courses over the summer, 2 courses in the fall, and that would be repeated the next year with different courses. And so at the end of that time period, you will have an MS in communication management and media.
Real quickly about the financial aid process. So, the good news is the way the program is structured, you'd be taking a minimum of 6 credits. If you're doing the online program, if you took the program on the main campus, we do encourage students to take a minimum of 6 credits. To be eligible for financial aid, you only need to file your FAFSA. You're probably familiar with that from the undergraduate degree you've earned, but just make sure you get your FAFSA information to us, and that way we can award you any student loans that you're eligible for. And if you have any further questions, we do have the number to the financial aid office there. You can always give them a phone call. Another common question we get is, what type of scholarships are available? Once again, the good news is that we offer both merit-based scholarships, and what's a little bit different now is that, once we receive your application, we'll automatically consider you for any merit-based scholarships, so there's no separate form that you would need to be filling out. So candidates for this particular program are eligible for merit-based scholarships. Typically what we're looking for is a student to have at least a minimum 3.5 overall GPA, but there are some other things that we're looking at. So as I mentioned, if you do apply to the program and we are able to accept you, you should receive your academic scholarship at the same time when you get that letter. The graduate school does also offer some graduate assistantships. The deadline for that particular program is January 15th. That program is a little bit different. You're going to be working at least 15 hours during the week on one of the campuses on the one of the offices on campus. But that would allow your tuition to be covered for the program. It's a very competitive program, obviously because of the benefits it entitles to the applicants. But you can find that information online. So finally, thank you for attending the session. At this point in time, if you have any questions, you can always write in the chat box, and we'll do our best to answer the questions for you as best we can. So let's see if we have any questions here. Okay, so first question we have, and I think we did address this, but I guess we'll go over it one more time, is, is there an internship requirement, and what type of opportunities would there be?
Internship actually in this program is not required because of the fact that many students are working, but it is an elective course that students can take, and our students intern in both the profit and nonprofit organizations, and they've had internships in places like Verizon, ABC, Fox News, area hospitals, Steiner Sports, and many, many more.
Okay. Another question that has come up, is there still time to apply for the spring semester? The short answer is yes. The good news here is that even though we are fairly late into our semester, our spring classes start January 16th. So there is definitely time to apply. As I mentioned before, we do have a rolling admissions process. So just try to get everything into us as soon as possible. What I normally tell people is once you submit an application to us, someone within the graduate admissions office will reach out to you, let you know that application's been received, and work with you to get those items you need to get to us as quickly as possible. But once that application is submitted, we'll work with you quickly to complete your application. And typically, once we have an application that's complete, we can make a decision within really like a day or two. So there absolutely is definitely time to apply still.
Can I add one more thing
Yes.
about the online opportunity? Some students are hesitant about taking an online class because they think there'll be no interaction with their peers, but our online courses build in that interaction. So you're not alone in doing the class, although you're doing it on your time and at your pace. You are working with other students and interacting with other students as well as the professor. So our students actually find the online courses very involving and exciting and interactive.
Another question that just came up is, are there any required courses for your master's program?
There are 4 courses that all students in the program take over their time, over the 2 years. They don't have to, they're not prerequisites, but they are required. One is researching the digital dimension, because we all have to understand what's happening in the digital sphere. The other is organizational communication, because we need to understand how people interact best with each other in organizations. And this is probably the one skill that employers are seeking in graduate students as well. The third required course is business and professional presentations, because we need to be able to interest and excite audiences about what we hope to accomplish. And the last one is intercultural communication, because we will not be communicating with people who are just like us. And we need to be able to interact with a global marketplace.
Let's wait for another question to come in. So here's a question. So the question is, how long will the program take me to complete, and how many credits does it take to earn the degree?
Again, it's a 36 credit program. Students who take 2 courses a semester and over the summer can complete the program within 2 years. Students who take 3 courses a semester and over the summer will complete the program in under 2 years. Some have done it in 1 year and a summer session.
And then I would also add that in general, for all of our graduate programs, once a student starts the program, they have 5 years technically to complete the program. So, occasionally we do have students that run into, personal situations where they need to take a semester off, or just sort of normal life complications. So you're not required to do it in a short amount of time. You do have 5 years to complete the program, but I think our experience has been that most students will complete the program within 2 to 3 years. And if you're doing the online component, you'll know way in advance, what classes you'll be taking and when you'll be done with the program. If you choose to take the program on campus, you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of the number of credits that you can be taking. But we do work with students, so there's some flexibility there for you. The next question that's come in is, within that communications program, do you have any concentrations, and can you explain them in a little bit more detail?
Sure. We have actually 5 concentrations, so we find that most of the students are interested in 2 of the 5 for the most part. The 2 most popular concentrations are leadership, communication, consulting, and entrepreneurship, which gives you the skills you need to market yourself to any organization, whether you'll be serving as a communication specialist in that organization or a communication coach for people in the organization. It also gives you the opportunity to build your own business using the communication skills you have to sell that business to organizations and function as a consultant. Strategic communication management is the second most popular concentration, and that finds you working primarily in public relations and advertising and building the skills that allow you to market yourself to organizations in that sphere. We also offer digital media and production, sports and entertainment, marketing and management, and communication in education.
Okay. Just waiting for another question to come in. Okay, so next question that just came in is, can you go over what job opportunities there are when I graduate, and can you have, are there any students who are working at certain organizations?
Sure. Our students work in fundraising, they work in customer relations, they work in event management, they serve as speech writers, they're in sales, community relations. The beauty of communication is that it's the one skill, it's the one field that gives you the skills you need to serve in any segment of a profit or nonprofit organization. Our students have worked at Verizon, ABC, Fox News, area hospitals, Steiner Sports, large organizations, small organizations. Some have actually developed marketing programs for different organizations, serving as a pre-graduate consultant for organizations during their internship experience.
Okay, so we had another question just come in. The question is there an opportunity to take classes both online and on campus?
Yes, the good news is you don't have to choose either or. You can mix and match. You can take online classes together with on-campus courses. So you can kind of dip your finger into the online world while actually being on campus and in face-to-face courses.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for another question to come in. Okay, so I see there's no more questions. So what I want to do is just, once again, thank everybody for attending today. We appreciate you spending some time with us to go over our programs. On the screen, as you can see there, we have two emails up. One is the grad@cnr.edu email. If you wanted to contact someone within the admissions department, you can always email that email, and then we'll get back to you. And if you have any specific questions about the program, you can always reach out to Dr. Gamble. It's up on the screen, but it is tgamble@cnr.edu. And the main number to the admissions office is 914-654-5452. And when you call, just ask to speak to a graduate admissions counselor, and then we will answer any questions that you have. So once again, thank you for spending some time with us, and everybody have a good evening.